At Council Bluffs Savings Bank, our goal is to help you, your families, and your businesses grow and prosper for generations. We take pride in our community, whether it's volunteering our time or helping individuals, families, and businesses succeed. We provide you with the personal service and attention you deserve. With over 220 years of banking experience, decisions are made locally. We are Council Bluffs people operating at Council Bluffs Bank to help Council Bluffs be a better place to work and live. Council Bluffs Savings Bank. Hometown banking, the way it used to be. Member FDIC.
So please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to call the meeting to order. All council members are present. Can I get a motion on the consent agenda, please?
So moved.
I was going to make an amendment to that. Lynn, we're going to remove A and vote on it separately, if you're okay with that.
Okay.
Let's do that. The motion is to, on 3A, the amendment.
Yeah, to separate 3A from.
Yeah. All right. Okay. There's a motion to separate 3A from the consent agenda. Second. All those in favor, is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
And move to approve the agenda and minutes from last week as amended.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, the motion is to approve 3A as amended. There was a correction in the minutes. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And now a motion for the remainder of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. This is time and place for a public hearing as advertised on the matter of Resolution 14-91 to vacate and dispose of part of the east, north/south alley in Block 6 Jeffrey subdivision, abutting lots 1 through 7 and Lot 20. Is proof of publication on file?
It is on file.
Have any written protests been received?
None received.
Is there anyone here who wishes to speak against this request? If there is, please step to the microphone and give your name and address for the record. Anyone who wishes to speak in favor?
Honorable Mayor and Honorable Councils, people. I was here at the study session and left some information in regards to that and kind of spelled out the requirement that we need some additional parking and that we're willing to follow all the city ordinances in doing that, and also that we have agreements with Bodec and the Senior Center for some additional parking stalls because the Senior Center wants to do some add-on to their facilities. So at the end of the day, I think we're going to be probably down about 30 stalls when it's all over done. Yeah, but this is not put in stone yet at this point, as I said at the study session. Until we, my name and address, Scott Belt, 1447 Madison Avenue.
Because we don't know who you are.
Thank you. Thank you. I apologize. So I'd be happy to answer any questions in regards to this.
And, that map shows the possible location of the new veterans.
They explained it to us before we got here.
So is the vacation dependent on if this is just a possible location?
It's going to
Is
be
it tied
there.
in?
It's going to be there. It's just may not be right where it sits in that lot.
Oh, I got you. Okay, thank you.
The HGM folks haven't put their final blessing on it yet, I guess.
All right, any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks.
Do we have a motion?
Move for approval of the resolution.
Second.
Any discussion?
I think this has come up several times before. However, one thing that I'm very pleased to see, well, two things this time that it's come before us that causes me to change my vote based on changed circumstances. The first is the rough location of the Veterans Office, which is certainly an office we all need, and the voters recently overwhelmingly approved. And then the second is the clarification that where parking spaces shall be added, the city ordinances that, you know, if you or I own a business and have to have parking, the county has agreed to follow those same rules as you and I would. And so that, my biggest concern in that respect was ensuring that we shielded the main entranceway. Indeed, the exit on the South Expressway into our downtown didn't look like a suburb. I don't want it to look like you're coming into a parking lot, and that's all we've got in our downtown. And so under the rules that they're agreeing to follow, again, the ones you and I would have to follow, so I applaud them for it. It'll have quite a bit of landscaping and shielding, and so again, it'll continue to look like an urban center because that's what it is. It's a city. And so I will support it this time. I think the facts are different, and I thank the county for what they've done.
Well, and I'll concur with that. I was also one of the no votes when this first came before us in May of 2012. And obviously 2 years ago, we did not have this development and the VA building going in. So things are clearly different this time around, and I will be voting in favor.
Any more discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. This is time and place for a public hearing as advertised on the matter of Resolution 14-92 to vacate and dispose of part of the South 11th Street line south of the south line of West Broadway and north of the north line of 2nd Avenue. Also that portion of Union Avenue right-of-way lying north of 2nd Avenue and west of South 11th Street. Is there proof of publication on file?
It is on file.
Have any written protests been received?
None received.
Are there any oral protests to this matter? Anyone who wishes to speak against? Is there anyone here who wishes to speak in favor? Seeing none, that closes the public hearing. What is the pleasure of the council?
Motion to deny per Planning Commission and staff recommendation.
Second.
Any discussion?
Well, I think, just so folks at home know, and in the newspaper, that the request would in essence cause a street in our downtown to be greater than 150 feet dead end, and would require the applicant to have a turnaround so that, you know, two fire trucks one could go either direction at the same time, and they could turn around. If that can be done, we have a situation in which if we have to fight a fire, we might not be able to get to it. And so that, to me, the public's safety matters more than the request of the applicant. So I have to agree with the Planning Commission to vote to deny it.
I'd have to note, I went and looked at this property over the weekend and talked to the business owners, and of 11th Street is pretty much undrivable as it sits today. It's in horrible condition, and that street itself dead ends out a short distance away. The business, I believe, employs about 25 people, and they would like to expand their business, but if an entity wants to make this sort of request from the city, it certainly shares some responsibility to make sure that they appear and make the proper case for it. So it is what it is.
Any additional comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed to the motion? This is the time and the place for a public hearing as advertised on the matter of Resolution 14-93, determining an area of the city to be a blighted area and that rehabilitation, conservation, redevelopment, development, or a combination thereof of such area is necessary in the interest of public health, safety, and welfare of the residents of the city. Designating such area as appropriate for urban renewal projects and adopting the 2014 amendment to the West Broadway Urban Renewal Plan. Is there proof of publication on file?
It is on file.
Have any written protests been received?
None received.
Are there any oral protests of this matter? Anyone who would wish to speak against? Anyone here who wishes to speak in favor? Seeing none, what is the pleasure of the council?
Motion to approve.
Second. Sorry.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. This is the time and place for a public hearing as advertised on the matter of Resolution 14-94, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an easement in connection with the utility relocation by Iowa Communications Network, the ICN, associated with the I-29 and I-80 interstate improvements. Is proof of publication on file?
It is on file.
Have any written protests been received?
None received.
Are there any oral protests to this matter? Is there anyone here who wishes to speak in favor? What is the council's pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. This is time and place for a public hearing as advertised on the matter of ordinance 6203, amending the zoning map as adopted by reference in section 15.27.020B by rezoning the property located at 321 Comanche, legally described as being Lot 1, Block 2, or Block B, replat of blocks 27 through 31, Manawa Park Edition from R3 low-density multifamily residential district to C2 commercial district as defined in chapter 15.15. Is there proof of publication on file?
It is on file.
Have any written protests been received?
None received.
Are there any oral protests of this matter? Anyone wishing to speak against? Is there anyone here that wishes to speak in favor? What is the pleasure of the council?
Move the ordinance.
Second.
Any discussion?
I don't know if anyone's going to vote against ice cream, but as I look at it, I think this is an excellent example of why maybe we ought to take a look at, like most cities in the country, we've tended to use what's sometimes called the Euclidean model. That is a R1, R2, R3, C1, C2, C3, and so forth. When a lot of our community is built on eras, for example, like this, an ice cream shop isn't really residential. But it's next to a residential area. But you know, when that neighborhood was built, would having corner grocery stores or ice cream places be there? Oh, absolutely. And so, I think we ought to continue to take a look at possible other ways of doing this, so it's easier for these uses to continue in our community, such as a form-based zoning. But in this particular case, I'm not going to vote against ice cream.
I wholeheartedly agree with that, not just because it's ice cream, but because I think we need to be more flexible in how we handle some of our zoning codes, and I would be eager to assist you in that effort any way I can.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. This is the time and place for a public hearing as advertised in the map. Oh, I'm sorry, yep.
There's discussion about waiving third consideration.
Oh,
Yes, I'd make a motion to waive third.
Second.
Any discussion on waiver of third? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. This is the time and place for a public hearing as advertised on the matter of ordinance 6204, amending the C2 / commercial district contract rezoning approved by ordinance number 6176 on property located at 2614 Railroad Highway, legally described as Lot 16 and part of Lot 17 and 18, Glengarry Addition, lying west of ditch except for the highway right-of-way, by adding commercial recreation indoor as a principal use at this location. Is there proof of publication on file?
It is on file.
Have any written protests been received?
None received.
Are there any oral protests to this matter? Is there anyone here who wishes to speak in favor? Seeing none, what's the council's pleasure?
Move the ordinance with option 1.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Motion to waive third.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. This is time and place for a public hearing is advertised on the matter of ordinance 6205, amending the zoning map as adopted by reference in section 15, 27.020B, rezoning part of government lot 4 located in section 33-75-44 and part of government's lots 1 and 2 located in section 4-74-44 from PC Plan Commercial to I-1 Light Industrial District as defined in Chapter 15.20. Is proof of publication on file?
It is on file.
Have any written protests been received?
None received.
Are there any oral protests of this matter? Anyone who wishes to speak against? Is there anyone who wishes to speak in favor? And
Hi, my name is Mark McKeever, 1032 Woodbury Avenue. I'm speaking tonight to inform the council that Property Investments, Inc. withdraws our opposition to this request, so long as both the zoning and the plating are conditioned on Fleet Park purchasing the property. We understand that they agreed to this, so we're working to create further development in that area.
any questions? Mark?
No?
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to speak in favor? What is the pleasure? Oh, sorry, Wayne.
Honorable Mayor and Council. Wayne Huvestal, 1641 South 186th Circle, Omaha. And we're obviously in favor, and if there's any questions, we're here to answer them. So.
Any questions? Thank you. All right, what's the council's pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion?
I just want to briefly thank you for your investment and for moving your headquarters from Omaha to Council Bluffs. We like it when that happens, and the new jobs in our community are also a welcome addition, so thank you.
I just wanted to express that I've been very protective of the PC overlay in that area. I think it's really important. But the piece of property that this is planned to go on is not very attractive for any type of entertainment business that could go there. I wouldn't see that. It abuts a on-ramp to the interstate and runs along the interstate. So I find it to be a nice buffer between what the interstate and what could go up along the main road. So I am in favor of this.
Well, I agree with everything my colleagues have said on this issue. I think it's a phenomenal thing. I do think as we go forward, we do need to decide which areas should stay planned commercial, which should stay light industrial, which should be standard commercial, and so forth. A lot of the plans, and I certainly won't criticize after the fact, a lot of them were drawn, as I understand, around the time the casinos first came to the community, and in many ways, I think, certainly on the whole, for the better, the community is much different than it was in 1996 or 1984. And so I think we ought to look at it, how much of that should stay like the MAC, how much of it should be that sort of thing that family would do, how much of it should be trucking, how much should be industry, and where should it go, so that it kind of makes sense, so that, cars aren't having to compete with big trucks and so forth, so that people want to both get down there. This particular proposal, though, is fantastic, and I welcome it.
I commend the parties for coming together and working through this. I think this is an excellent example of how business interests can work together to help make things happen. And I also note that this is an important piece of development that will not only bring needed high-quality jobs to Council Bluffs, but may also help spur a development. It's been noted that the area immediately to the east of there is somewhat industrialized, very dependent upon trucking, and there's a lot of real estate over in that area that is yet to be developed and put to use, and I hope that this provides a bit of a catalyst for that. So thank you for helping to make this a reality, and we welcome you to Council Bluffs.
As a point of clarification, is it my understanding that the council is wanting to make this conditioned upon the actual transfer of the property to the developer?
Yes.
This is a resolution that we were provided, yes.
Yeah, the resolution we were provided says approval of final plat.
The last one that was in front of the council did not have that in there. I just want to make sure that that's,
A revision came.
I know that. Just wanted that on the record.
Everybody concurs?
Yes.
That's the intent? All right.
Absolutely.
Any further discussion by the council? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. This,
Is it appropriate to waive third on this, since there's no more oppositions?
Yeah, I think so.
I'd like to make a motion to waive third.
Second.
any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. This is time and place for a public hearing as advertised on the matter of ordinance 6206, amending Title 15 by amending section 15.20.050 site development regulations to add additional language relative to the maximum height allowable. Is there proof of publication on file?
It is on file.
Have any written protests been received?
None received.
Are there any oral protests to this matter? Anyone speaking against? Is there anyone here speaking in favor? Seeing none, what's the pleasure of the council?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Motion to waive third.
Second.
Sorry.
Any discussion on the waiver? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Madam Clerk.
Resolutions, Resolution 14-95, granting final plat approval for minor subdivision, creating two lots to be known as Lone Mountain subdivision. Item was postponed from March 24, 2014.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Resolution 14-95, authorizing the mayor to execute a development agreement by and between the City of Council Bluffs and DD West Broadway LLC for tax increment financing incentives for the development of 2200 West Broadway.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Resolution 14-96, authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement on behalf of the City of Council Bluffs between the Iowa DOT Adopt a Highway and BPO Elks Lodge number 531.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion on this matter? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Resolution 14-97, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement with Compass Utility for the South First Street Neighborhood Rehab Phase 5 project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I just wanted, I usually note these type of situations, in that the winning bid was almost 20% under the engineer's estimate, which is good for the taxpayers.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign.
Resolution 14-98, authorizing the city clerk to certify the 2014 water, sewer, and refuse collection lien schedule to the Potawatomi County Treasurer to be collected in the same manner as a property tax.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion on this matter?
Well, the only discussion I have is, we're leaning a ridiculous amount of money against properties that have failed to pay their refuse bill. And so I encourage people to please pay your garbage bill when you receive it. It's not like we can stop collecting garbage. If you didn't pay your water bill, they would turn off your water. And so I would ask that you give the same consideration to the city and please pay your sanitation bill when it arrives, so we don't have to go through the cost and the time of filing liens against your property.
We also had some discussion this afternoon, so folks will know that about the health department putting a list online in case there are individuals that, for one reason or another, perhaps don't realize that they're on the list. Plus, it'll also be perhaps an interesting way to see how much of the property is on the list is not residents of the community or landlords of the community. I think you'll find a lot of them are owned by banks, which is interesting and something I think you should see and know.
And we asked for that to be done so that we go that extra mile to make sure not only that notice is provided to the public, but also to make sure that we provide somewhat of a service to property owners who may own multiple properties so that they can help keep track of what's going on in their business enterprise, because we realize that sometimes things happen, and this provides you then the opportunity to make sure that you can double check and ask questions if needed.
Any additional discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign.
Resolution 14-99, appointing Bankers Trust Company of Des Moines, Iowa to serve as paying agent, bond registrar, and transfer agent, approving the paying agent and bond registrar and transfer agent agreement and authorizing the execution of the agreement.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign.
Resolution 14-100, amending the resolution authorizing the issuance of $7,630,000 general obligation bonds, Series 2014A, and levying a tax for the payment thereof, passed and approved on February 24, 2014, by substituting a new resolution, therefore, authorizing and providing for the issuance of $7,630,000 general obligation bonds, Series 2014A, and levying a tax to pay said bonds.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign.
Resolution 14-101, approving a construction change directive for the salvage and demolition of the Bungie Grain Elevator Project.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Applications for permits and cancellation 6A 1 through 4.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Any citizens' requests to be heard?
None on file.
And anyone in the... Why?
Wayne Huvestal again, just a quick second. I love the quickness of the motions as a somebody in the audience, but I just wanted to say thank you for the kind words. We're excited to be building. This is a big deal for our company, and it's fun, and it'll be nice, and we're looking forward to it. So just thanks a lot. That's all.
On behalf of the city, thank you, Wayne. Anyone else? please step. We need name and address, Morris,
Yes, please.
please.
Larry Thornton, 4119 Avenue D. I represent a few of the West End people, the end of Avenue D. We've been having a continuing problem at the end of the west side with transients bailing over the dike, especially in warm weather. And now that warm weather has been hitting again, we have been having major problems. And we understand that the city, according to the police, have no jurisdiction over what transpires over the levee. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. We have what's known to be drug addicts, sex offenders, camping out. Whether they're kicked out by Omaha, we don't know. But we figure that's the case. Now, at all hours of the day and night, on weekends especially, we've got trains of people parking on the end of our street, at the end of 2 or 3 streets, by the way, bailing over that dike and partying until all hours of the day and night, trashing, doing whatever those people do. And it's been a continuing concern of ours because we have trash left on Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and Monday morning that we have to clean up. Now, if Council Bluffs wants to go forward as a progressive city, which I am a resident and have been for the past 12 years, I want to see this also. I live at the end of the pedestrian bridge. Some people have called this the bridge to nowhere. We've heard that. Well, we live at the end of this bridge to nowhere. We don't want it to be known as that. If the city or county want to make this a recreational area, this is becoming an increasing crime area, an increasing bad area that nobody wants to walk in, nobody wants to recreate in. So we're asking, what do we do? Is there or are there statutes that can protect us? If so, what do we do? Let us know what the statutes are. We will notify anybody it takes to enforce these statutes. But so far, we haven't gotten a whole lot of answers from anybody as to what we can do. We've done our part. We've contacted the non-emergency police number. We've been told that we can make reports, but it takes time to pile reports. We've contacted 911 many times, but sometimes the offenders leave as quickly as 911 gets there. So what do we do? I've had my mailbox now knocked down at least 5 times since I've lived there. 12 years I've lived there. Knocked down 12 times. Our fence has been knocked down numerous times to where we finally took down the fence. I thought, we've had people driving through our yard. So I guess I'm imploring you, what do we do? Is there a law? Is there a statute? Yes, go ahead.
First of all, you are in the city limits, and so
Yes.
and that area is in the city limits, and it's patrolled by the Council Bluffs Police Department. So we'll get the police down there. Did you say 36th and D?
No, 40.
I was gonna say, because
Actually,
that's not
it
near
would
the
be,
road.
it would actually be technically called 42nd and Avenue D. We are 4119 Avenue D. We're the last house on Avenue D. The
It would
levy,
seem to me that it would be transients. I mean, that's not
Yes.
typical social behavior where they drive.
You're
where they
right.
drive up in cars.
you're right.
Sir, can I speak?
Sure.
Sure you can, but give me your name and address if you want.
Thank you for letting me speak. My name's Julianne Starner, and I live at 416 North 41st Street. Mr. Ringenberg, you knocked on my door campaigning, and I've had the pleasure of meeting you.
And is that, just for location,
For a
is that
point of reference-
approximately 42nd and D also?
It's a little bit different than his. For a point of reference, I'm a quarter of a mile north of the walking bridge. Avenue E is directly north of my property on 41st Street.
Okay.
Avenue E is a city street that is not paved to the levee. It's wide open. There's no cable, there's no gate, there's no fence, there's nothing. I have witnessed on many occasions where ATVs, motorcycles, trucks, vehicles go up over that levee all the time. Thursday night of this last week, you don't need to call the police because we've done that a lot and have been having a lot of communication with them. And the PAR, I want to commend your PAR. Officer Woodward has been very good in working with us. What I witnessed on Thursday caused me to coordinate these fine folks from our neighborhood to be here in front of you. I had a U-Haul truck pull up in front of the lot next to my home, park. I watched 4 individuals make about 7 trips back and forth, carrying mattresses, tables, chairs, barbecues, bedding, clothing, back and forth over that levee. Those police have confirmed for us that there are registered sex offenders. There are people who are recently out of the Nebraska State Penitentiary system serving 10 years for meth trafficking. I have children in the neighborhood who confirm for me that they've gone over that levee and they've visited with these people. They find used needles back there. We see these people. I would encourage you, I would love to have you folks come and spend a day in my living room and watch a 24-hour period of traffic. I've lived there for 15 years. My husband and I have consciously made a decision to live where we do. We love our neighborhood. My husband teaches in the district. I work in Omaha. We made a conscious decision to live here in Council Bluffs. We want to support our community. It's gotten to the point, though, where it's a little bit nerve-wracking at night, wondering who's going to knock at my door at midnight and be laying across my front porch. I've had it happen. So that's why we're here tonight. We're concerned. We need to know what we can do to make it better. We love it. We love the park. We love the progress that's happening. We're just not pleased with the traffic the negative traffic that it brings.
Yeah, and again, I just want to get a concept of what you're talking about. I can understand a U-Haul, maybe somebody got evicted and so they took some stuff down there to camp and went over the top, but for people coming in and parking and going across to have a party and then coming back, that's not and I'm very active in the homeless community, and that's not typical behavior. So
It's happening. I can assure you with 100% certainty this is happening. This isn't the first year, but this is the first year it's been so blatant. I can give you license plate numbers that park every night on the residential streets in front of our home. The levee's there. They go right up and over. It's not just homelessness. There's so many other issues as well. It is the occasional partying, because you know what? I don't think you would want to be woke up on spring and summer evenings every night on the weekends at 3 a.m. because of drunkards and kids going back and partying. It's not acceptable. It's not something
that's why I'm trying to get a concept of
it's
going on.
Yeah, it's many issues, but right now the transients are definitely an issue. We are confirmed, the police have confirmed there are definitively 6 people full-time living back there, but there are many more that are coming in and out. And please come.
There are a lot of tents down there.
It has got more.
You're fine.
Mike Starner, 416 North 41st Street. Julie's my wife. I guess my big concern as, number one, someone living down there and someone who's a teacher. I'm a PE teacher at Franklin Elementary School. A lot of my kids at Franklin spend their weekends down there with their parents riding their bikes on the bike trail. Just tonight, before I went to one of my baseball meetings, sorry I was late and walked in late, but just tonight I had to go up and tell a 5th grade girl and a 6th grade girl not to go in the woods. They went down there. I had to go after them and say, it's not safe. Knowing kids are, inquisitive after they hear something like that, I had to let them know. We had 2 policemen on Wednesday or Thursday, I can't remember, Thursday, tell us, do not let anybody in your family go back there. It's not safe. We've been instructed that we can't get them out of there until there's a vagrancy law or something that proves they're doing something wrong. I can tell you at least probably a month and a half ago, my 18-year-old son and I sat in our living room and watched a truck, an 18-foot trailer, unhaul more contents than she saw out of the U-Haul. There's more than 4 people back there. There's 11. Danny's dad's gone, or Danny's Steve's son, he's gone back there and seen there's more than 10. Regardless, I'm concerned about the safety of, I mean, we have bikers from Omaha, we have everybody that use that trail the way it's supposed to be used, and that's great. I love living down there because we have access to the bridge. We walk to the College World Series. I mean, we love that area. But, you know, we kind of felt that with the building of the bridge and the Playland Park and the green space was going to be built up, that this is where we want to be. This is where our kids want to be. We have a huge backyard, and that's what I love about the area. But I don't know how long I can convince her to stay here in Council Bluffs if this is going to go on. I don't know when it was. We had a gentleman wake us up at midnight, woke her up. She came and got me. He was rolling around and screaming on our porch. Police came. He was gone. They found him 2 blocks away, rushed him to the hospital. The police officer that was there Thursday said, yeah, I picked him up. He was a transient that was drunk. Then about 2 weeks later, someone else rang our doorbell at 12. By the time I got up, nobody was there. We called the non-emergency number. We had a vacant house in the neighborhood, had all the lights on. Nobody knows why. It's been vacant for a while now. We have a brand new house that's catty corner to us and right across from Don's house. That hasn't anybody living in it. I'm concerned that, you know, someone decides that, hey, we're gonna live in there, bring your friends, and, you know, then we have to police ourselves as a neighborhood who's breaking into these houses that are not occupied. So I guess we were asked by the policemen to just start expressing our concerns. I think we got a call from the DNR today that said that they're investigating too because the woods is part of their area. I think the initial plan for the park was to have soccer fields and baseball fields, and it's called Friendship Park. Do you want these kind of people living in Friendship Park? I don't. And I mean, if they're down on their luck, I feel bad for that. But we have agencies in Council Bluffs that are bringing them food. People come out in hordes, eat, and then go back. That can't be safe. They're going to the bathroom somewhere. They're putting their trash somewhere. And I guarantee you, I saw a 60-year-old getting helped up the dike and then walking over. That can't be safe for her. That can't be safe for the older gentleman that helped her up there. So I guess we're just frustrated. I mean, I understand kids party and celebrate a little bit more than they should, and they're going to go where they don't get caught. We've had that happen since we've lived there. But this is more than just kids partying, like you said, more than kids just going back there. My son loves to go back there fishing. I'm not going to let him. He's 18 years old. I'm not going to let him go back fishing until that's cleaned out. You got trees down. You got everything else from the flood. It's just not safe for anybody down there. And I'd hate to see it end up in the paper. Bridge to Nowhere has new housing development.
Let's do this, and I don't know who the spokesman for the group is, but we're just about done here, and I'll run down and get you my business card, and I'll do some background checking. You know, I said, heard you say don't talk to the police. Well, I don't know what alternative we have other than talking to the police, and you've talked to them. Don't worry about it.
The police indicated was that they indicated the city of Council Bluffs doesn't have a vagrancy law, and so that was then, you know, they indicated that there was nothing that they could force them out of there. They felt it was more of a human health department issue.
And they did tell us to continue to call them at any time because they were concerned for our safety.
They're very empathetic.
I'll work with them, and again, I'm on the Metro Area Continuum of Care for the Homeless. I'll work with them. We'll get some solution for you.
Last Saturday, there were 3 police driving their vehicles on the dike behind our house all day long.
It's just gotten to the point where it's scary.
Okay.
Thank you very much for coming down and talking to us. I would not have known that this was an issue, so I'm very grateful that you came tonight to tell us about this, and I know that Mayor Walsh will find out what needs to be done.
And I want to give you a business card so you can make sure that I follow up on what I told you I'd do.
I guess one last thing, I'd like to invite any council member, mayor, council member, to spend a few hours on the weekend.
I thought you were going to say spend the night. I'm like,
I'm not that kind of guy. To spend a few hours with us in our front yard, just watching. In fact,
In my backyard.
Sue and I yesterday sat out mid-afternoon and watched traffic from Julie and Mike's yard. It was a train walking up with
and do you think
trash
that's,
bag going up over. And
do you think that's aided by the fact that there isn't a cable across
I
there?
think that's part of it.
Yes.
I think that services are coming in the living room as part of it. I think that because there's no one there pushing them out as part of it.
And do you know, is that, who's doing that? Is it Mom's Place, or?
I could not tell you.
I'll find out.
One van I saw was Omaha, I think it was
Open,
the main one in Omaha.
open door mission, or?
Open door. One van I saw was open door, but I didn't see what they were doing, so I can't confirm. I just saw them parked on my side of the street. Open door mission was parked there, and I didn't see anybody going or coming, so I can't confirm what was going on.
I
That'd
don't
be,
know if they're from Omaha, are they eligible to go to our facilities that will help people that need a house or something like that? I don't know.
you know, it's,
Majority of the people are from Nebraska.
yeah, it's,
And the car that was there for 4 days just left this morning.
The one yesterday was a Nebraska band with 3 men, 2 women. I figured they were church people. They had coolers full of stuff, bottled water. They brought them down, gave them their stuff, patted them on the back, and let them back.
well, I'll check with Candace Gregory, who runs Open Door.
Nebraska beat up.
Mike Sacklar, who does Sienna Francis, and Harry Waller, and we'll figure out some strategy to deal with it, so, but get my business card.
Right.
Thanks.
Well, thank you, and we
Yeah.
apologize, as we said, we always knew there were people camping there, but I guess we didn't realize there was a community in there. All right,
Thanks to you, we do.
anybody else? Anybody from the council? Jim Nelson?
At Council Bluffs Savings Bank, we take pride in our community, volunteering our time to helping individuals, families, and businesses succeed. We are Council Bluffs people operating a Council Bluffs bank to help Council Bluffs be a better place to work and live. Hometown banking, the way it used to be.